Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Roger, for letting me speak. My name is Michael Clark. I am a retired scientist, physicist by profession. So I have an inherent interest in energy systems, and in particularly alternative energy systems, which have been hidden from us deliberately. Now, a person better qualified than me to speak about new energy devices and how they were suppressed is Andrew Johnson, who I will introduce in a moment. But I will say this final thing. We are currently working on fuel devices that are classed as over unity. In other words, more energy out than in. We should have something by 2015 that will allow every individual that's part of the BCG or lawful bank to install a unit into their homes and derive free electricity. You will never have to be on the grid. Thank you. Thank you. We haven't done it yet, but hopefully we'll do it. Everything's looking very, very positive at the moment. All the results we've had so far have been positive, and I'll keep all members of BCG through Roger and his newsletter up to date on what's going on. Now, the key element of having a device like that, whether it's going to be magnetic or a water fuel cell, which are some of the things we're working on, the key element of having a device like that is that we can offer it to non-members as an incentive to join Lawful Bank and British Constitution Group. Who in their right mind is going to turn down a unit that's going to give them free electricity? Nobody. So what a great carrot to swell the membership. Come join us. We'll make sure you get one of these things. You will never have to pay electricity again. You can come off the grid. We don't want to give it back to them because we don't want anything to do with them, to be perfectly honest. But it's a great incentive, and it's a good way of swelling our numbers.
I'm going to call a close to the meeting, gentlemen.
Well, before you do that, Mike, could I just ask if there's any, because you mentioned previously, I was curious, that you've been involved with some water fuel cell development a few years ago. And
yeah, about 5 years ago.
I just wondered if there's any, so obviously if anybody with experience like that can be fed into this process. I mean,
not really.
Why would that be?
Because the tank cell is a much simpler and I think much more efficient way of moving forward, rather than trying to do high-frequency electricity and pulsing it and messing around with it until you get exactly what you want.
So you're saying then from that development, your experience was that you were using this...
It produced gas, but not very efficiently.
Right, right.
Yeah, and I think we were using 1.7 volts and 200 milliamps was our input current, and we were producing gas from a standalone cell. Very much like mine that he shows on his papers in his video.
Was that your goal to sort of reproduce the Maya cell?
No, my goal today...
No, sorry, at
that point it was purely an experiment.
Right.
It was purely to, what's this all about? Let's have a look at it. We built it and it worked after a fashion. That's not what I want to do.
Right, was this
WFC is just a means to an end here.
Yeah.
We're looking for the most efficient way. Whether it's WFC or not, it doesn't make no difference what the method is, as long as we achieve the desired result, which is to provide energy for people for free.
So in your opinion then, from that development previously, you think that was sort of...
No, I don't think it's not a way forward.
Right.
I don't think you could produce sufficient gas in quantity to drive the motor, to drive the electricity generator.
Right.
This has, the tank cell is far better.
And was that you and a good group of guys, or was it?
Yeah, it was just about 3 or 4 friends.
Right.
We just got together, and lots of things we were doing at the time, not just WFC, lots of stuff. We built a little magnetic motor that was continually running, but not producing an awful lot of energy. But it was working on its own without any further input. But I think the tank cell has got the better possibility of actually achieving what we want to achieve quickly.